On one of the coldest mornings of winter, a man sat quietly on the sidewalk. His coat was torn, and his hands looked rough from years of work. To everyone passing by, he looked like just another beggar, but beside him sat something unusual, a beautiful golden retriever. The dog looked hungry, yet it stayed perfectly calm, watching the busy street. People walked past quickly. Some glanced down, some avoided eye contact. A few dropped coins into the man's cup, but no one stopped long enough to notice the dog's empty bowl. Across the street stood a small bakery. The smell of fresh bread drifting through the cold air. Customers walked in and out, carrying warm bags of food. One woman stepped outside holding a paper bag. She noticed the man sitting on the sidewalk, but her eyes quickly moved to the dog. The golden retriever was staring quietly at the bakery. Not begging, just waiting. The woman paused, then slowly walked toward them. She knelt beside the dog. "Oh, you poor thing," she whispered softly. The dog wagged its tail gently. She reached into her bag and pulled out a warm sandwich. Instead of giving it to the man, she placed it carefully in front of the dog. "Eat slowly," she said kindly. The dog began eating happily. The man watched silently, not saying a word. "Dogs can't ask for help," the woman said quietly, "but they feel hunger just like we do." She stood up. Before walking away, she gently scratched the dog behind the ears. "Take care of him," she told the man, then she disappeared into the crowd. The next morning, the same woman returned. This time, she brought a small container of dog food. She filled the dog's bowl and, once again, she left quietly without expecting anything in return. This continued for several days. Food, kind words, and gentle pats on the dog's head, never asking questions, never asking for thanks. One afternoon, a black luxury car slowly pulled up beside the sidewalk. Several people in suits stepped out. They approached the beggar respectfully. "Sir," one of them said, "it's time." The woman happened to be walking nearby again. She stopped in confusion. The beggar stood up and slowly removed his old coat. Underneath it was a perfectly tailored suit. Clean, elegant, powerful. The woman stared in disbelief. The man smiled warmly. "My name is Daniel Whitmore," he said, "one of the wealthiest investors in this city." Her eyes widened. "But why?" Daniel gently placed a hand on the golden retriever's head. "Because wealth hides the truth about people," he said, "but hunger reveals it." He turned to her. "Hundreds of people gave me coins, but only one person fed the dog." The woman looked down embarrassed. "It was just food," she said softly. Daniel shook his head. "No," he replied. "It was compassion." He handed her a small envelope. Inside was a letter and a check. A very large check. "For the animal shelter you told me about," he said, "and for anything else you want to do to help animals." The woman looked stunned. "Why me?" she asked. Daniel smiled. "Because the world needs more people who care for the helpless, even when no one is watching." The golden retriever wagged its tail happily beside them. Because sometimes the richest hearts are not the ones holding the money. They're the ones sharing kindness. If this story touched your heart, don't scroll, share it so someone else feels the light too. Thanks for watching.